Today I'm going to talk about how to get the vitamins and minerals that our bodies need from the food that we eat. Hereditary fructose intolerance is a serious condition that requires careful attention to what we eat. But beyond avoiding fructose, what does the body actually need to thrive? In this video, we will break down the essential nutrients that our bodies rely on, discuss the dangers of ultra-processed foods, and explore how whole nutrients-dense foods can support optimal health. So stick around to the end where I will share 4 powerhouse foods I recommend including in your diet every single day. I'm going to talk a little bit about what our body needs on a day-to-day basis. There are 2 different things. We have macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are things like protein, carbs, and fats. And micronutrients are the things like our vitamins and minerals that we get in the food. They are broken down parts of the nutrients that we need. Our body derives energy primarily from fats and carbohydrates. But how efficiently we use that energy depends on the quality of the food. Whole foods naturally contain the necessary cofactors that help our bodies absorb and utilize our nutrients effectively. In contrast, processed foods often strip away these essential elements, making it harder for the body to process and absorb vitamins. This is why relying solely on synthetic vitamins can sometimes be ineffective. The body requires the right nutrients in the right ratios to make use of them properly. I'm going to go through and talk about different macronutrients. The first one I'm going to talk about are your fats. When people hear fats, they kind of steer away because they think that fats is what causes you to gain weight in your body, but that actually is not the case. Fats don't necessarily turn into fat in the body. This is a common misconception. Saturated fats found in animal products, like organic dairy and red meat, provide energy and support cellular function. However, trans fats, such as processed seed oils, can wreak havoc on your gut and overall health. By choosing natural unprocessed fats, you can fuel your body efficiently and avoid side effects of industrialized oils. The next thing I'm going to talk about is protein. Protein is the building block for life. We all need protein for growth and repair. Animal products contain all the essential amino acids your body needs for growth, repair, and overall function. Some of the best highly bioavailable protein is liver and collagen. Now, organ meats, especially liver, are nutritional powerhouses, packed with vitamins and minerals that support almost every function in the body. Collagen is found in many animal products. A few ways to get collagen is by eating gelatin or bone broth. Another great protein is raw milk, especially the raw milk that has a lot of cream in it that is sourced from a clean local farm. Milk provides a unique balance of protein, carbs, and fats. The sugar found in milk is lactose, which is okay for people with HFI, as long as there's not anything added into the milk. The next macronutrients I'm going to talk about is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates give us energy. It is very crucial, especially if you're exercising or you are active, to get carbs. For somebody with HFI, you want to make sure you get the right kind of carbs. The different kinds of carbs are rice, cereal, oats, grain, flour, potatoes. There's only one kind of potato that I've ever tried that wasn't sweet, and those are russet potatoes. You do not want to do any other kind of potatoes for carbs when you are somebody with HFI or trying to avoid fructose. While ultra-processed carbs can be harmful, complex carbohydrates play a crucial role in digestion and overall health. One excellent source of fiber and vitamin C is sauerkraut. Vitamin C is one of the only nutrients you cannot get when you are eating a red meat diet. And just 1 to 2 tablespoons of sauerkraut a day can help support the immune system and digestion. We already talked a little bit about whole foods. I want to go through and explain exactly what are whole foods. The way to know if it's a whole food is if it's in its original state. Or for spaghetti or macaroni, for instance, you still use natural ingredients and whole food ingredients to make that ingredient. You did not get any chemicals or processed foods to make that spaghetti. As long as it's organic and it comes from a good source, then you can know that is a whole food. You want to make sure that you have food that is the least amount of processed, and that will give you the most benefit. Another way to tell if it's a whole food is if it rots. If it doesn't rot, it probably has some chemicals and things in there that helps it from rotting, which might be good if you don't have that much time and you're trying to hurry, but you do not want that to be your main source of food. You want to stick with food that actually will go bad. That way you know that it is real food and it's not super processed. Another way to know if it's a whole food is if you can grow it or make it yourself. So like spaghetti, you can get flour and water and you can make your own spaghetti in your kitchen. Most foods that we eat these days are full of ingredients that we do not recognize. So that is a huge sign to know that is not a whole food. If you don't recognize the ingredients in that food and the ingredients isn't something that you can make yourself, then it's probably not something that you should be putting in your body. Since cutting out processed foods and synthetic vitamins, my migraines actually went away. And I can still eat some processed foods here and there a little bit. Before, when I would eat those, I would get migraines, it would make me sick, but now I do not get those anymore. The way we fuel our body matters. And when we focus on whole nutrient dense foods, our bodies have the tools that they need to function optimally. The next thing I want to talk about is gut health. Now, gut health plays a huge, crucial role in our body and even in our mental health. A key player in our digestion and overall well-being is our gut health. The best ways to support our gut health is with kefir, sauerkraut, yogurt. Another really, really good one that I would recommend for anybody, even without HFI, if you have any food intolerances, I recommend doing homemade yogurt. It is called Hereditary yogurt. I will be doing a video on how to make that yogurt at home. It's actually quite easy and it's definitely worth the benefit if you can fit it in and make it. This probiotic-rich food can help improve digestion and even support those without HFI overcoming food intolerances. For best results in consuming the Hereditary yogurt, I recommend taking 1/2 cup a day. The 4 foods I recommend including in your everyday diet for optimal health. The first one is beef liver. This is a powerhouse of essential nutrients, but because it is so full of nutrients, you want to make sure that you consume it in small quantities. You don't want to overdo it because you can get too much vitamin A or copper if you consume too much liver. So you do not want to eat it like you would eat steak or beef. You only need a small portion every day. But most of the situations where I have found that has happened to somebody was somebody that was taking supplements for beef liver. I haven't really seen anybody that has had that issue with people that are taking raw liver if you are consuming it in small amounts every single day. What I like to do is I will take beef liver that is a cube inch and I will put either lemon juice or lime juice on it and then I will eat it raw. If you are eating it raw and it's not processed, your body should be able to process that in the right way. The way that the natural food is it has all of the co-parts needed to process that into your body. It doesn't taste very good, but you get used to it. But I mean, it's a vitamin. I haven't ever really eaten any vitamins that taste good, so I just chew it down and then I swallow it. For adults, I would recommend a cube inch, and for a child over 2 years old, I would recommend a 1/2 cube inch, and then for a baby and a toddler from 6 months up to 2 years, I would recommend doing just 1/4 cube of liver once a week. You do not need to give them that much liver because they should be getting it either from their formula or from nursing. The next one I recommend having every single day is sauerkraut. Now, sauerkraut is very, very beneficial. The only time that I have found that it's actually beneficial to process food or change it from its original state is with fermentation, like sauerkraut, cheese, yogurt. Those are actually very beneficial. And it's not that you're adding any chemicals in there. Everything that you add in there should be whole food. You shouldn't add any chemicals or anything like that. If you were eating whole foods, you typically eat less food because you don't need as much food because the food that you are eating is full of nutrients and it's not fake, it's real food. So your body gets more of what it needs when you are eating whole food. And it is a little bit more expensive, but it is way more beneficial. For sauerkraut, I would recommend taking, like I said, 1 to 2 tablespoons a day. This could be for adults or kids. This is actually one thing that one of my kids with HFI snacks on, and she loves it. She will come to me and say, "Mom, can I have some sauerkraut?" And I will put it in a bowl for her, and she will eat it because she loves it. I'm guessing she loves how it makes her feel. One thing to note with sauerkraut is sauerkraut can actually have fructose in. When you're making sauerkraut, you use cabbage and water and salt, and sometimes people use sugar. So what happens is when you do the fermentation process, the microbes in there need something to feed on, and so usually that will be salt or sugar. And if you do not let it ferment long enough, then it will still have the sugars in there. So you have to make sure that you're fermenting it long enough. I'm actually going to start making my sauerkraut so I can go through the process of how long you need to let it sit and ferment before you can actually eat it, and before it doesn't have any fructose in it anymore. So you got to be careful with different sauerkrauts. It could be sweet. I have tasted some that was sweet at the store, and I believe that it's because it was not fermented long enough. From what I know, you want to make sure you ferment it for at least 3 to 4 weeks, but I will do a video on that so that I can see and let you guys know how long you actually need to let the sauerkraut ferment. The one shown is really good. This is the one I ate for me and my kids. Even my kids that do not have HFI eat sauerkraut because this is what they take for their vitamins. The next food that I would recommend that I've already talked about is the Hereditary yogurt. I will be making videos showing you how to make the yogurt yourself. And the fourth food I recommend having every single day, and one that I've already talked about, is raw milk. I know there are controversial opinions on raw milk, but for people with HFI, as long as you're getting your raw milk from a clean source, it's actually so beneficial for them. Raw milk has vitamin D, it has calcium, it has so many benefits for those with HFI and even those without. The amount of milk I recommend taking every single day for those with HFI is just have a glass of milk, maybe 1 to 2 cups for kids, and you can do 2 to 3 cups for adults. Is you would want to have that milk with every single meal, so 3 times a day. You don't necessarily have to have it with snacks. If you have snacks, I would just do water. And there's 2 other foods that I'm going to talk about that aren't necessarily on my list of powerhouse foods, but it's something that is essential for your body that you do need, which is salt. The kind of salt that you'd want to do is Celtic salt or pink Himalayan salt. You want to make sure that they're from a good natural source that is clean. And another thing that everybody needs is water. You want to make sure that you are helping your child to drink the appropriate amount of water, or yourself, because you are what you eat, and water helps clean out all of the toxins out of our body. You want to make sure that the water that you drink is spring water or well water, or filtered water if you do not have access to that. It has a lot of minerals and things that your body needs. By focusing on these nutrient-dense foods, minimizing processed ingredients, and prioritizing whole natural nutrition, you can support your body in the best way possible. If you found this information helpful, please be sure to like and subscribe, and share this video to help others on their journey to better health. Thank you so much.